Hi, welcome to our second, I think, installment for realtors
Yes.
of Putting the Real in Real Estate. So we do a Facebook Live. It's also on our YouTube channel on Fridays where we talk to consumers about different things in real estate that they might not know and understand. And then we're popping over here to do a realtor version and kind of share the inside scoop from the realtor side of things for other realtors. We find sometimes that there's so much to know in our business, and there's certainly lots of people who know parts of it better than I do. But every once in a while, I run across something I can help somebody understand. So that's what we're here to do. And if you know all about it, then you can school us some more. But
Yes.
if you don't, you might find this interesting. So PMI is what, Danielle?
Private mortgage insurance. And it is something that is often tacked onto conventional loans when a buyer, is not putting down a full 20%. So conventional rates in the past were traditionally what was out there, and traditionally requiring 20% down. Over the years, to help the average consumer, as the average consumer's needs changed and ability to save up for these type of down payments became
And as prices went higher, and also people who are first time buyers aren't in a position to take equity from a first house into a second house. The idea of saving $100,000 is well, I've never done it.
It's insurmountable. It's insurmountable without some other. So I mean, you need some sort of investment in the house. Is that? So it is something that was added to further protect, because it is risk, right? The more amount of money a lending institution gives somebody, and the less buy-in those people have, it's riskier for the bank. Because as we saw in 2008 and 2009, and when people were mortgaged to the hilt, they're out. So, but PMI's been around much longer than that. But I'm saying for an instance of why their risk might be higher, or why they consider it higher. So it is a percentage of the amount. It can be avoided in other ways. Sometimes a higher or a very low debt to income ratio, or higher credit score, and things like that. Each lender is going to have their own amount that they're comfortable with giving and in charging.
Yeah, and talk to your lender about their specific products and how they're explaining it to clients, so that you're sure that your clients are fully understanding it. This is really all about the client understanding what they're taking on.
Correct. So in this regard, you don't have to get into the nitty gritty, but it is good to be aware of what the PMI is a thing. So when we are talking to clients about, you only need to put this down, and it's not that big of a deal, and they're trying to figure out the various rates, and should they go FHA or should they go conventional, and things like that. VA does not have any PMI. FHA has kind of their own version, wrapped in, and then you have the conventional loans that have this. So, and as Ruth and I talked about on our Facebook Live, is that different people have different comfort levels with this type of amount. We might not think it's a big deal. We might say it's just another $100 or $50 or $30 a month. It's not that big of a deal, but other people might find it like repulsive to even think about it.
Yeah, in that case, they're going to know what it is going in. They're going to know what they're putting down versus what the amount of the PMI is, and so it's calculable, and they're going to know it. They need to understand what it is. You need to make sure that not you explain it, but that you have a lender who does well, because some people just don't like that additional fee. Some people are just averse to paying it. And The example we gave on our Facebook Live is I just can't stand financing cars. I can't stand having a car payment. If I ever have one, I want to get rid of it as quickly as I can. I want it to be, for the fewest amount of months. But for some people, that's just part of their monthly budget, and they're perfectly fine with paying for a car every month for the rest of their life. Our assistant, Tammy, we've had this discussion. She does not mind having a car payment, but she will never pay PMI. So she considers that a waste of money, and it drives her crazy. To me, I'd rather take that cash that I didn't put down on the house and put it into something else that I prefer.
Correct. And then there's the old school. Like my aunt made a comment that she encouraged all of her children to have 20% down when purchasing their first houses. Well, sometimes that's great if you're making as much money as my cousins were with their job when they were 22 and living at home and able to save that much for that time, but that's not everybody's position in life.
Yeah. And by the way, I've known people who spend years trying to save 20% to buy a house. And while they're saving for those years, the home values go up 50%.
Correct.
So,
I mean, could you imagine all those anybody who tried a year or two ago to have that 20% down and they thought they were going to buy a they were going to buy a $200,000 house and they saved 40 grand. And then in a matter of months, that was not, those $200,000 houses are now 280 where they sit, and the interest rate's gone up 2%. So how much did that cost them?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to look at it. And really, I mean, you can't really convince your clients, but just be aware that there's going to be.
Yeah. And we don't want to convince our clients, but listen to them and listen for what scares them and what they're okay with. Because again, if you bought a house a year ago with zero down, it's now at 80-20 loan to value. So they could have held on to all their money. They would have needed a VA loan, but and paid PMI for a year and now be in a position to get rid of it. So the other thing is that you can be a hero if you wonder, what can I reach out to my clients for, and how can I touch them without looking like I'm asking for something? And I hate to bother people. When you're calling saying, hey, I just thought you might want to know how much more your house is worth. And I remember when we got your pre-approval loan that you were putting 3.5% down. I'm just wondering if you've checked into getting rid of your private mortgage insurance. And if they work with your favorite lender, you can contact that lender and already have, some answers ready for them. So that's a welcome call from a past client.
Absolutely.
They're gonna send you a couple referrals when you start doing things like that, right?
Absolutely. Can I save you some money? Oh, and by the way, here's the valuation of your house. They might either be very excited about you saving the money or very excited about what they could possibly sell their house for. So it's a win-win.
Hey, we like this house, but we always did want one more bedroom. Maybe.
Yes.
We'll just make that move now. So yeah, win-win-win for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
So there you go. That is the story on PMI and how you can use it to help your clients. See you next week when we talk about VA and FHA. We're all about acronyms for now.